Well, hello, friends. Byron Belka here, wherever you're at. I just want to say hello. Hopefully, you're having a fabulous day. And I'm doing this live just out of the blue for a couple of reasons. One, I'm trying to test something out. So, whether you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram, whether you're seeing this on Twitter, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe you're even on LinkedIn. I've got streaming from a lot of different places. I'm trying this out for the first time, seeing how this works in multiple places at multiple times. So I figured if I'm going to be doing this, I might as well add some value. So, first off, thank you for being the difference makers out there. Thank you for taking what you have and going out there and trying to be better because of it. Now, what I want to talk about today is a key component of seeing success. There's a lot of things that can be focused on. There's a lot of things that we can try to learn and understand, and skills that we can get. But I want to talk about something that is critical, something that is going to make or break whatever you're wanting to accomplish, what you're trying to accomplish. It can make or break it. Now, this is something that I've had a good friend of mine who recently passed really stress. And so I've been thinking about her, and I've been thinking about this concept and how much she focused on it and was a huge believer in it, which is the reason that I'm focusing on it today. So I'm going to pull up something here, and I want you to kind of just get your idea and thoughts as we get into this. So this is what is most important. Like I talked about, this can make or break a business, what you're trying to accomplish with friends, family, whatever it is. Okay, this is the success triangle. And there's three main components of this triangle that we're going to focus on today. And one of these is talent. What does it take to see success? Some people might say you got to be born with talent. You've got to have, the skills and the ability, and the natural ability is key. And although talent is important, we all know people that have amazing talent that you're just like, man, if you would just go out there and really apply yourself, you would be one of the best. Talent is great, but I almost feel like sometimes when you don't have the talent and you have to go out there and you have to learn, and you have to learn how to be talk to people because you're an introvert. When you have to learn those things, then guess what? You learn those skills probably more accurately than just winging it, because you had to take the time and energy. But is talent the most important thing? It can be one of them. Okay, what's another part of the success triangle? Because you need to have this talent, or you need to create it. Another part of the success triangle is knowledge. Okay. And you can say this person's smart. They know what they're talking about. For people to follow you, for people to want to lock arms with you, they want to go with somebody who knows where they're going. They want to follow somebody who has been there, who can blaze the trail, who gives them that confidence. So knowledge is power, but only applied knowledge is power. You probably heard that saying before, knowledge is power, but it really doesn't matter. Stephen Covey says it's the applied knowledge that matters most. It's taking what we know and doing something with it. Then that principle comes alive. Okay. So that is a key component to the success triangle. You've got to have that talent or create it. You've got to have knowledge and know what you're doing, where you're going. And even if you're only one step ahead of others that you're leading, you're still ahead. And that is what is important. But here is really important. What's really important. And that is the third thing. Now, before I get into this, I want to just ask a quick question as we look at this triangle. I want you to think of right now, if you're thinking of somebody that's successful, if you're thinking of somebody that you look up to, what are some of the characteristics or traits that they have? Now, like I said, I might not be able to see all the comments if you're on Instagram or if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, but just in the comments, just take a second. What are some of those characteristics that you look at and you say, okay, I love that person and I want to be like them because of this? And you can even write them in the comments, write them down, think about it for a second. But who is it? It's somebody that's dependable. It's somebody that, has conviction. It's somebody that is trustworthy. I mean, what are those things? What are those traits that somebody has that you're like, okay, this is one of my heroes per se that I look up to, mentors, some of those people, and this is why I'm so impressed with them. The consistency. I see that in the comments. Thank you. And it can be a lot of different things, right? So I want you to be thinking about this as I get into this next one. We're going to go back to this triangle and take a look at it. So if we go back here, the third aspect of the triangle is your attitude. It's your approach, your attitude. Do you have that belief and winning attitude? What happens when everything goes wrong? What happens when things that you're not planning on happen? Because that is called life, right? What is your attitude? You can't control what happens around you. We can't control the economy. We can't control governments. We can't control the weather. We can't control. What do we have control over? Our attitude. Okay. So as we look at this success triangle and we say, okay, talent's important. Knowledge is important. Having the right attitude is important. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think. If you put a list together of all those attributes that you love about somebody, or you look at and say, that is amazing. That's why I love, I'm looking here, thoughtful, consistently, passionate, motivated, dedicated. I want you to categorize them. Okay, which category would you say that falls in? So if somebody says, I love consistency, is that a talent? Is it knowledge? Or is it an attitude? It's an attitude. If somebody's thoughtful, what is that? It's an attitude. If somebody's passionate, is it knowledge? Is it talent? I mean, some of that could be there, but where's the strongest of those three? Attitude. And what you're going to see is you put that list together, 90+% of all of the things that you look up to, that you say, this is somebody that I want to be like, this is a mentor that I want to have. It's the attitudes that they have. And once you realize it's the attitudes, for somebody to be, motivated, that's an attitude. For somebody to be, resilient, that's an attitude. So think of all of these things. And as you do it, as we're evaluating what we want to be focusing on, yes, I want to get better in my skills and be more talented. Yes, I want to understand what I'm doing, have my plan in place, have that knowledge. But more than anything, you have got to be focusing on, and I've got to be focusing on, do we have the right attitude? Because our attitude is what creates our character. And our character is what creates our future. And I love this because it's so important. And you have 100% control over this. 100% control over your attitude. We can change our attitude in a second if we choose. Right? So another thing that I love when we're talking about this, that I'm going to probably make this one a little bit bigger because I want you to see this. If we were to take the alphabet and we were to say, I'm going to give, let's see, I'm going to give, there we go. It's a little bit bigger. I'm going to give a number associated with each letter of the alphabet. So A is 1, B is 2, all the way to 26. And if we were to look at some different words and what is going to help us put in 100% and really give 100% of our effort, what is it going to be? So as we take a look at this, I think it's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Let's look at hard work. Hard work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the numbers. So if you look at H has the value of 8. A has the value of 1. So we went and we allocated a number to each letter in the alphabet. So hard work, what does that add up to? Talent, what does that add up to? Belief, these are all things that are important. But if we look here at what we get from it, if you add up all of those numbers in hard work, you're going to get 98. Okay, that's pretty high. 98, almost 100 to go out there and put in the hard work. And you can't replace hard work. You got to go put in the hard work, the effort. Talent, it's going to give you 72. If you add up all of those, you're going to get 72. If you look at belief is going to give you 39. Okay? Belief is great. We need to believe, but we got to put the actions behind it, like the hard work, and use our talents and abilities. Now, this is something that's pretty amazing when we look at this, and that is attitude is 100. It equals 100. If you take all of those letters with their associated numbers and add it together, that's where you're going to get that 100%. Because if I'm putting in hard work, which is great, you got to put in the effort, right? If I'm putting hard work, but I have the wrong attitude, am I going to get as much out of it? If I have talent, but my attitude isn't where it needs to be, what's that going to mean for me? If I have belief, but my attitude is not where it needs to be, guys, hopefully you can see that whatever you have in front of you that you want to accomplish, one of the number one skills or one of the number one attributes that you need to have is you got to watch your attitude. You got to be careful of that and pay attention to that, because you're going to get so much more out of the time, energy, effort, activity that you put in if you do it with the right attitude. So hopefully this is some valuable information that you can take some value from. I know as I learned this through my business career and through life, it has made a difference for me. And I hope it can do the same for you. So I want to thank you for tuning in for a couple of minutes wherever you're at. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, add a like. And thanks for tuning in. I'm Byron Belke. You guys have an amazing day, and go out there and continue changing the world one person at a time, starting with yourselves. Take care, everyone. We'll see you.